Glad to have you back with us right here on BNF in the stock game. The markets, of course, are up and away on the global cues. We've got 5,300 at least being maintained very comfortably. We are by about 92 points right now. And the Sensex as well has added on close to 319 points. But what's happening with the derivative segment as well? Let's get you a sense of that from Darshan Mehta, who joins in now. Darshan, hi. What are the big trades that you've spotted as far as derivatives go?
See, clearly, Megha, at this point of time, a lot of fresh buying seen on the market. Close to 9 to 10 lakh shares have been added in open interest, and we've almost hit the 5350 mark. So clearly, we are at the 5350 mark on the Nifty future. So clearly, fresh buying is going on. What we are seeing on the call side is positions at lower levels are getting shed because of the movement. So 5300 call is seeing shedding of open interest to the tune of almost 6 lakh shares. But positions are being taken at higher levels. So almost 1 lakh shares on the 5400 and 3 lakh shares on the 5500 call. But put writing is very rampant today at 52, 53, 5400 at all levels. There's put writing happening, especially for the 5300 put. We are seeing close to 12 lakh shares being added as far as open interest is concerned. In terms of open interest gainers, you have financial technologies in which open interest is up 12%. Fresh buying is seen. Sun TV is seeing open interest up 8%. That one is seeing a little bit of fresh buying that is coming in. And TTK Prestige it's seeing fresh buying coming in, open interest up almost 5%. In terms of long unwinding is seen in on-mobile, global open interest is down 6%. And Cummins, which had gained significantly yesterday, is also seeing a little bit of short covering that is coming in, open interest down 6%.
Thanks very much, Darshan, for giving us that perspective. So great going on all counts when it comes to the equity markets. On that positive note, we've got our 3 experts lined up all ready to play BNS and the stock game. But first, let's walk you through the rules and regulations and tell you how exactly it's played. We get 3 experts in for the entire week, and we give them a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees. With this money, they create a total of 4 stocks in their portfolio, selecting only 1 stock from the F&O space. In case there is a target price or a stop loss that has been triggered, they replace those stocks with a new one. And if there's a sell call in the cash market, that's also replaced by a new stock. It's by the end of the week, and in this case, it's Saturday, given that we will be open for the markets tomorrow, that we will calculate who has made the maximum amount of money, and that person emerges triumphant and as the winner of the stock game. So let's quickly bring on board our 3 participants. Shrikant Shetty joins in on the show. Saurabh Mittal, Managing Director at Swadeshi Credits, and Shrikant Chauhan, Senior Vice President Technical Research at Kotak Securities. Gentlemen, great to have you all with us. Thanks very much for joining in. But a moment then to address some of those flashes coming in on your screen. The oil minister saying that there is no immediate proposal to hike fuel prices, including petrol. Now, this is very contrary to some of the signals that we have been getting just a while earlier. And most of the oil marketing companies, which remember are sitting on massive under recoveries, were hoping in all hopes that there would be a hike in the petrol prices by even 5 rupees per litre. But this statement certainly dashing those hopes, saying that there is no immediate proposal to hike the fuel prices, including petrol. Remember, the anticipation was that post the monsoon session of Parliament, this move would be undertaken. Not too much of a reaction, but I think BPCL has come off from the high point of the day. So keep an eye out on all of these oil marketing companies, which have been soaring for the past 3 days on the trot. All of them clearly reacting to that negative news. Moving away from that, let's get straight to buy now, sell now and the stock game. We've got Megha, who's going to tell us what happened to their portfolios in yesterday's session. Well, Avan, it was a pretty steady session for our 3 experts in terms of the portfolio performance. Let's take you through the individual portfolios then. Shrikant Shetty first up. Yesterday, he was going ahead with 4 long ideas, while a Crompton September Futures as well as a Jet Airways, those 2 counters was where he was stopped out. And by the day's end, he was in the loss in the red by about 5,800 rupees. Saurabh Mittal's portfolio then, on the other hand, he had hedged his portfolio, in fact, 2 short and 2 long ideas. Stopped out on a State Bank of India target hit on an Asian Paints and managed to retain that second position with gains of about 5,000 rupees. Shrikant Chauhan then, well, it turned out to be yet another good day for him. None of the targets were hit although, so we had 4 long calls coming in from him, but he managed to maintain that numero uno position with gains of about 15,600 rupees. Okay, that's what happened to their portfolios yesterday. Let's also quickly get in a check as to how all of those oil marketing companies are reacting, given that the oil minister has categorically said that there are no plans now to raise the fuel prices. Take a look at the kind of upswing you've seen, in fact, in these counters over the past 1 week or so. It's been smart gains from all of them, given that they have been hoping for a fuel price hike. And you can see them all reacting. Let's cut across to Jayapal Reddy, the oil minister, talking on the same.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, unable to really decipher what was happening, but clearly those statements are going to come as a big blow for most of these oil marketing companies. Remember, we were hoping also that all of these companies, they were hoping, in fact, which were reeling under crippling losses, that there was likely to be a hike. We were expecting it to the tune of 5 rupees per litre, and that's one of the steepest increases in the in the petrol prices which we were expecting today, and that was expected to include other fuel products, including LPG as well as diesel. That announcement was expected today, or in all hopes tomorrow, in fact, but now you have the oil minister categorically denying it, on the back of which most of these oil marketing companies are reacting negatively. He's also going out to say that oil companies are likely to lose around 2 lakh crore rupees in FY13 on account of this, and the government cannot fully compensate some of the PSU oil refiners. We will keep you up to speed as soon as we get more developments on this big story. But meantime, nail it down to individual stock ideas in each of our experts' portfolio. I'll start off with you, Shrikant. You've got 4 buy calls for today. Ceylon Exploration, what's the rationale for that?
Ceylon Exploration, as we know that the company is meeting tomorrow for a buyback. So I think there is scope for a move there. If you look at an evaluation basis, again, has a market cap which is for 490 crores for a company with oil blocks with significant potential. The market cap is clearly low for a company of, though it's a small company, but the fields and the potential to scale up exists there. And as we have seen historically also, the buyback announcements have been quite substantially higher than the existing market price. So if anything of that kind happens, we could see a significant move. So from a trading perspective, I think a 315 kind of target does look achievable. I have kept the target about.
Okay, those were some visuals. We're trying to cut across to Jaypal Reddy to get more details as to the kind of statements that he is making. Once again, status check on all of the oil marketing companies, all of them reacting very negatively to that bit of news. Sorry to have cut you short there, Shrikant. But let's take it straight to Nitya Balakrishnan then. She joins in from New Delhi with the latest details. Nitya, some statements which are coming in from the Oil Minister Jaypal Reddy, and that is obviously having a negative implication. Is there anything else that you're picking up?
Well, what we're picking up, what the oil minister categorically did say just a few minutes ago, Van, was the fact that as far as petrol is concerned, it is a deregulated commodity. At the end of the day, the oil marketing companies will take the final call on the impending price hike, which, you know, many...
Today, is the oil company going to hike the price today, sir?
There are no immediate proposals in regard to the prices of various oil products, including petrol.
So the prices will not go up today, sir?
There are no immediate plans. We are, of course, facing a tremendous crisis of unprecedented magnitude. However, there are no immediate plans.
But you have floated a cabinet note for hiking the diesel and LPG prices, isn't it, sir?
Cabinet note is different from the step to be taken today or tomorrow. It is my duty as a minister to bring the set of startling facts to the notice of Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs.
So when is the Cabinet going to meet, sir, to discuss that?
I have no idea.
So what exactly are you proposing will be a way out of this entire phenomenon, because you've been saying time and
Our companies, you know, will lose around the huge figure called nearly 2 lakh crores. I cannot hope to wipe out the entire deficit. There is, however, a need to reduce this deficit. A subsidy burden to a considerable extent.
But petrol is a free product, isn't it? I mean, as in, government has no control. So is the government also going to intervene in the petrol pricing also, sir?
No, we have not been intervening, I must say. Oil companies have been displaying stance, having regard to tremendous volatility in the price of oil and in the value of oil. However, we'll have to take some difficult, painful decisions. We are not taking them immediately.
So given the fact that you've always maintained that hiking of diesel prices is politically sensitive, any kind of consensus across the board that you're seeking, any progress on those stuff?
Political parties.
I think consensus required in this country. This is a classic case of politics defeating
Sir, you floated a cabinet note. Any indication of yes when the BPCL Union cabinet etc. is likely to take that decision or meet and discuss it all?
I've taken the initiative. It's for the cabinet secretary to decide.
But the oil companies are free to hike at least petrol price, isn't it, sir?
They've always been.
Right, sir.
So the case committee is talking about 4 rupee litre hike as far as diesel goes, LPG 50
No,
rupees.
I refuse to comment on freely floating ideas.
But given that, is there any communication from the finance ministry that they cannot continue subsidizing oil marketing companies
No,
in the long
nothing
run?
more, please. Thank you.
What does you do?
They don't have enough funds.
Oil Minister Jayapal Reddy talking about that fuel price hike, saying that there are no immediate plans to do so, but nonetheless he has outlined a bit of the future course, saying that the cabinet panel will take a call on the fuel price hike and that the cabinet secretariat will decide on the same. Nithya Balakrishnan is with us on the phone line with the latest. Nithya.
Well, Avan, just minutes after Mr. Jayapal Reddy, the oil minister, spoke to us, we did have a conversation with Mr. Butola, the chairman of Indian Oil Corporation. He categorically stated that the under-recoveries on petrol was mounting significantly for oil companies to continue maintaining prices of petrol at the current level. He did indicate that the first quarter, 950 crores were under-recoveries just on petrol. Remember, the last price hike happened way back in mid-July. And over the last 6 weeks, he said that the losses on petrol per litre have fluctuated anywhere from 1.5 rupees, it's gone up to 3 rupees, up to 6 rupees. And, currently he's not giving us a quantum as to how much per litre, but what he's indicated is around 4 rupees a hike is what they will be seeking in order to neutralize this impact on oil marketing companies. But given the fact that petrol is deregulated on paper, what we're picking up is there might be a hike in petrol prices, despite the fact that the minister has ruled that out in the near term. But what we have to understand here is there is also the possibility that the cabinet note, which is seeking a hike in LPG, kerosene and diesel, that they might wait for that to actually be placed before cabinet, before taking a final call on hiking of fuel prices. But one thing is certain, the estimated under-recoveries on fuel products for fiscal 13, they're looking to touch the dangerous 2 lakh crore mark. And both the oil minister as well as the chairman and director of Indian Oil saying that that is simply not sustainable in the long term, and they will make sure that they take all steps necessary in order to cut this estimated subsidy burden.
So that's a very hefty loss that's possibly on the cards for the oil marketing companies. Nithya, thanks very much for, of course, getting us that bit of news. Ajay Sharma also joins us then to give us a take on what this means for the oil marketing companies going ahead. Ajay.
Megha, if you look at the oil marketing stocks which have actually reacted negatively, they had gone up pretty significantly last couple of weeks because there was a lot of noise around a possible fuel price hike. But now a clarification coming that is not coming by. Dealers and analysts expect at least 5 to 8% shaving off of prices of these stock prices. Mainly, if you look at the first quarter numbers, all the 3 oil marketing companies gave out negative GRMs because they did not get any cash compensation, no price hikes were also there. Of course, there was an inventory loss also. But look at ONGC, it got crushed because of sharing 33% burden. Now no fuel price is actually coming, which means second quarter, third quarter also, ONGC will continue to bear 1/3 of the burden, which is now expected to touch 2 lakh crore. This will significantly impact oil marketing companies as well as ONGC, and and the management of ONGC has already been on the channel and repeatedly have said that their cost of production itself is not being able to be recovered fully because the government is continues to take lenient view on the subsidy, and they have not taken the tough stance of hiking fuel oil prices. So analysts are saying that the biggest dampener it will be for ONGC. Of course, that is already factored in the stock price of oil marketing companies.
Thanks very much, Ajay, for giving us that perspective. In fact, you have IOC also, which reported a quarterly loss of 22,451 crores in the first quarter of the current fiscal year. This loss happened despite the falling crude prices. And most of these oil marketing companies are seeking 32,000 crore rupees in compensation for the first quarter of the current fiscal year, given that they're not compensated for petrol sales. Let's hear out Mr. R.S. Batula of IOC on the same issue.
I mean, this is a very sad incident which took place, and so many lives have been lost. I mean, we are really sad about it. Because the tanker had left our bottling plant and it was carrying on, so it was a road accident. And normally the state administration is conducting an inquiry into this, but we have also sent our teams, etc., to inquire into the matter, and they are to submit their, of course, they have submitted their inputs, and whereby it's a case of a road accident like anywhere else. But in this case, the damages have been enormous, so many lives, and this really saddens us.
So how much are you losing on petrol currently?
No, this is.
Is there any compensation decided for that?
Yeah.
Is there any compensation decided for that?
Is it?
Compensation.
No, let the team's report come. We are in touch with the government of Kerala. We are talking to them, and we will be working out something as in discussion with the state government.
How much are you losing on petrol?
Control the movement of gas tankers in Kerala. It will affect your what there?
No, I mean, this is a road accident and all agencies have to take action into this. As far as our investigations are concerned, because it has left safely from our plant, etc., and it met with this accident on the road, so which is unfortunate. We don't think, of course, it's such a big accident which has shocked everybody there, so it is affecting currently the movement of the vehicles, etc. But we believe that the situation will, ultimately the fuel will have to be provided, and the state administration is taking necessary steps.
Sir, how much you are losing on petrol, sir?
Indian Oil is losing currently 16 crore rupees per day.
But on petrol, how much you are losing, sir? On petrol,
Petrol only, I am saying.
Per liter, how much you are losing?
You see, per liter depend. We were earlier losing 1 rupee 37 paisa. It went to 3 rupee 85 paisa. It also went to 6 rupees. Currently, it has slightly come down, but it is difficult for us because we'll have to average it out. And,
till date, how much is your loss on petrol, sir? Till date,
we had lost 950 crores in the first up to June. And thereafter, we have lost in the last 1 month. Maybe this 16 crore continues for some time. It may be another 300 crore, if it continues. But we have the month going ahead.
It's a free product, so are you going to hike the price, sir, anytime soon? Or is there any political intervention also?
I would not say that there is a political intervention, but we do things in consultation with all the stakeholders, and because there are other oil companies also who are involved in this, so a decision will be taken appropriately in consultation with other oil companies and other stakeholders.
Yeah. The parliament session is over. Do you think you'll get the go-ahead today, tomorrow? Any indication?
I would not say that, it has anything to do with the parliament session. But it's, as I said, it's a matter of consultation with my colleagues in other oil marketing companies.
So now that the cabinet note has been passed,
and also the consultation with I am admitting that there is a consultation also involved, with the other stakeholders, etc. also. So this is progressing, and I mean, we'll let you know the moment we have.
Cabinet notice, do you think you might be asked to hold on to the petrol price hike is that it's not staggered and it might come with diesel and LPG? Is that a possibility?
I can only talk about petrol because that's within our domain, but what I can admit that the under-recoveries on diesel have also been increasing very significantly. Similarly on SKO and LPG, they are more than 17 rupees on diesel, more than 347 rupees on LPG, and I think around 30 rupees on SKO. So this is huge, 32 rupees on SKO.
कितना बढ़ाने की जरूरत है इस नुकसान की भरपाई के लिए?
पेट्रोल बढ़ाना जरूरी है, but what I am saying is that we have to take a decision in consultation with my colleagues in other oil marketing companies and also in consultation with the stakeholders. So this consultation process is on, and the moment we get clarity and consensus around this, a decision will be made.
कितनी बढ़ोतरी की जरूरत है सर पर लीटर?
नहीं पड़ेगी पेट्रोल प्राइसेस बढ़ाने की, लेकिन क्या आपको सब्सिडी अभी मिल रही है?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि ये फैक्ट है कि 950 करोड़ रुपए का हमारा नुकसान फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में हुआ और इस क्वार्टर में भी हमारा नुकसान हो रहा है। तो हम लोगों को जो है, हमने सरकार से कहा है कि जो हमारी अंडर रिकवरी हो रही है, अगर किन्हीं कारणों से, बिकॉज in the process of consultation we have to take into consideration various aspects, and if we have not been able to increase the prices, we should be compensated for that. Yes, we have made such a request.
सरकार ने श्योर किया है आपको सब्सिडी मिलेगी?
सरकार ने अश्योर नहीं किया, but I mean it's not stopping us from making this request, and we will continue to make our case.
How long you can carry on with this kind of borrowing, and what is your current borrowing?
See, the borrowings are around 88,000 crore. They had gone to 90,000, and since the last tranches of the under recoveries which were due in last year, they have already been paid by 31st August, and we haven't received the sanction for the under recoveries of the first quarter. So this borrowings will be going up now. We have a deficit of more than 5,000 crore rupees every month, 5 to 6,000 crores. So depending on the oil prices, etc. So 5 to 6,000 crore our borrowings will go up, and if this happens, we will have a limitation because we'll soon touch the ceiling which by prudential banking norms also the banks lend to us. And if by then we hope that the support from the government, the compensation from the government, which otherwise we'll definitely have difficulties.
How much is the limit, sir? How much is the ceiling?
As of now, 110,000 crores.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's the chairman of IOC, Batula, telling us about the troubles that oil marketing companies have been going through. Of course, on the back of the under-recoveries, their borrowings have increased and very critically close to the borrowing mark and the borrowing limit set by banks as well. But on that note, we'll slip into a very quick break, come right back because there's more lined up on the other side. Back with BNSN, the stock game. Let's take it to each of our experts to find out what's in their portfolio on day 5. Shrikant, I'll start off with you.
Yeah, given that we've seen good performance coming from mid-cap stocks, which have had Fed index like all on mobile. So we have kept the mid-cap kind of portfolio. The first one is Ceylon Exploration, where we've taken it for a trading perspective, the target about 296. The second one is Century, for where we're looking at a target
Shrikant, my apologies for having to cut you short. We've got Mr. R.K. Singh, who is the management of BPCL, joining in on the phone line on this crucial issue. Mr. Singh, thanks very much for being with us. To start off with, could you tell us how much your under recoveries are and how much you're losing per day on the back of petrol prices?
Petrol price is about 6 rupees per litre we are losing. And diesel is 17 rupees per litre, kerosene is 32 rupees per litre, LPG is 350 rupees per litre.
Mr. Singh, then give us a sense of what's the total borrowings BPCL is sitting with at this point in time?
Our borrowing is around 25,000 crores.
And Mr. Singh, how much can you sustain without compensation and no fuel price hike, the announcement that has just come out?
See, let us understand one thing very clearly. These companies have to run. They cannot shut their operations. Government will have to back us up. And therefore, it is for the government to take a call and support us. Otherwise, I don't think government can afford to to disrupt the supply situation in the country. But yes, a matter is serious, and I was hoping that price increase will take place, and that will only lessen the burden of the government. But it is for them to decide. As far as petrol is concerned, yes, being a government company, we have to consult the government. We cannot, although it is not compensated, but since it is going to affect the public, it is going to have some impact on the inflation. The consultation with the government is inevitable as far as petrol is concerned. And we are continuously in dialogue with the government, pleading with them to raise the price of petrol as well.
Mr. Singh, give us, some of financial details vis-a-vis the under-recovery so far in the first quarter of this year. What was the number that the company ended the quarter with? And so far, of course, for the second quarter, how are things looking on the under-recovery front?
No, the second quarter under-recovery I cannot quantify right now because the second quarter result is not yet ready and I can't disclose it to the media. But the first quarter, our total loss was 8,800 crores. And the under-recovery component in that was about 8,000 crores. So, and on MS alone, we lost about 600 crores in the first quarter, and the industry as a whole about 2,500 crores.
Mr. Singh, on account of the pricing situation not improving for you, can you tell us, ratings agencies are saying that your debt is going to be downgraded on the back of this. What is your response to the same, and how bad are you on the debt front?
No, rating agencies are well within their right to say so, and I think it is possible, but I hope it won't happen. And if we are not in a position to borrow, if we are not in a position to mobilize resources for our day-to-day operations, the country economy will come to the halt, and I don't think any government can afford that. So I am sure before this worst situation happens, government will have to take some view, and they have to come to a rescue, and therefore it is entirely ball is in the court of the government. So I really can't say anything at this moment of time. But yes, indeed, it is as we all know, rating agencies have their own way of working, and we are borrowing heavily from the international market as well for our ongoing projects, and we have not put any halt to any of our project activities. So yes, it will affect, but hopefully that situation will not come.
Mr. Singh, we were just, we heard Mr. Butola a little while ago talking about how he is looking to talk with, all the senior management people at BPCL and the other oil marketing companies, as well as the government, to sort of develop further consensus on what the path ahead is. But what do you think is likely to happen? Are we, maybe not immediately. We believe a cabinet note has also been circulated to the effect, which the minister, of course, has, denied. So do you think we could be seeing a fuel price hike coming forth in the next fortnight or so?
In my opinion, it has to come. There's no way out.
So will it be taken up in the winter session, you think, this matter?
No, I don't know about what government will do. But there are two things one must understand very clearly. As I told you, the oil companies cannot afford to shut their operations, and government either increases the price or takes the burden all upon themselves. That's the option that they have to decide. But in my opinion, if government decides to bear the entire loss, it will be huge, budgetary requirement, and it will lead to fiscal deficit. And the inflation coming through that route will be much more harsher than by increasing the price. So it is a call. I'm not a great economist, but I think government will have to take a call. I cannot add. The situation is pretty bad as far as the finances of oil companies are concerned.
Now, sir, with the price hike being ruled out for now by the oil minister, how exactly will this cash crunch impact your capital expenditure plans going ahead?
No, right now, whatever money was sanctioned through the earlier budget, those installments are coming and our borrowing is under check. So I don't find any immediate problem, but I'm looking at the future. So I'm sure government will have to come to our rescue. Otherwise, there will be serious problem in maintaining our day-to-day operations.
So, Mr. Singh, what sort of action do you think, or rather what shape would this possible action from the government's end will take now? What do you think is likely to happen? Are we going to see oil bonds? Probably that will be one sort of avenue, or what are the other options that the government could resort to?
No, I'm sorry, I can't predict about government's move. But government, I think they will have to do combination of things, including some dose of price increase. And that some dose, the under recovery have accumulated so much. As I told you, we are losing 17 rupees on diesel. No government can afford to raise the price of diesel by 17 rupees because it will fuel inflation. This will create so much of problem in the economy. Therefore, some dose of increase, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6 rupees, they have to decide, keeping political compulsion in mind. Plus, maybe some duty reduction on petrol. Petrol. There is hardly any scope for duty reduction on diesel or kerosene.
Right.
Or LPG is already zero. Crude duty is zero. So, what combination of things they have to do?
Sure.
They have to take a call.
Absolutely, Mr. R.K. Singh. Thanks very much, sir, for, of course, joining in this morning and shedding more light on that. So that's the management of BPCL outlining how they're losing out close to 6 rupees a litre on oil as well as diesel as well is a big hit on the balance sheet. But with that, we'd wrap it up right here on BNS in the Stock Game. Thanks very much for tuning in.